Alright, so welcome to part 2 of my recording log, where I'm just going to be detailing the process of recording my music. So today I want to talk about a couple different things as I prepare to record. One is finding your motivation and inspiration. So I think it's really good to sometimes clutter up your recording space a little bit with some appropriate accoutrements. For example, I've got this dollar bill. That's always good to remind you that you're not completely broke. I've got this crystal. I find crystals are really nice to just hold in your hand while you're recording vocals. It helps you find focus. I've got some Big League Chew. If your mouth is getting dried out while you're singing or something, you can chew on a little bit of gum, get that salivation going, and you're back in there. All right, so one thing that I'm doing right now is pre-production. Now, I am not a professional recording engineer, so I don't know what real pre-production is, but I guess the basic idea is that you want to kind of hammer down exactly what you're going to do before you do it, so that you can do it more effectively. For example, if I was going to go into a professional recording studio, doing a little pre-production beforehand would actually save me some money, so I wouldn't have to spend as much time fooling around in the studio. But in my case, I just want to be really organized so that I can do a good job with these recordings. I find that you can do kind of a lo-fi kind of thing, and that's really cool, and that can work to your advantage. I'm not trying to be the best or anything, but I just want to do kind of a cleaner job, have a cleaner sound with this. So I've got this notebook and a pen right here, and so I'm actually just going to be taking notes as detailed as I can manage on everything that I do. And one thing that I'm doing to start is I've got all the songs written down that I want to record. Um, I think I got them all. I tried to remember all of the different songs that I wanted to record. And then I just sat down and I kind of spent some time and I kind of color coded them into different categories. The main one being the light blue. So these are the songs that I really like that are most important for me to get done. So I'm going to do those first. Then a couple different colors of green that these either fit in with those other songs in one way or another, but I'm not entirely sure how they fit in, so I might need to do maybe a little stylistic change to kind of adapt them or whatnot. And then I've got these other ones that I color-coded orange that just don't necessarily fit with the others, but they're songs that I've written. Those are, at this point, least important to me, because one thing I'm trying to do is do a group of recordings that could, in theory, become an album. So I'm trying to go for kind of a cohesive sound. So what I've done is I've just kind of color coded those. So I've got those written down so I know what I want to do. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on one song at a time, and I'm going to work on it until it's completely done. And I'm going to take notes on that song. So right now, I've just kind of written down, okay, I'm going to work on this song. These are all the different tracks that I'm planning to record. That may change, which is one reason I'm keeping notes. If things change, at least I kind of know where I was coming from and where I'm going. Taking some other notes like the time signature, the beats per measure that the song is in. I should write down the key as well. But I'm going to take detailed notes on the songs as I go along. So that's my notebook. This is going to come into play throughout the whole process. I'll probably talk about it some more later on. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is fleshing out my ideas. And I'm fortunate because I have a couple different tools that are really helping me do that effectively. If you're recording, you already have one great tool, no matter what format it is in, is your recorder. So you can just do some scratch takes, do some, dub in some other tracks and kind of mess around and figure out what kind of sound you're trying to go for or work out new melodies or harmonies. So I am probably going to use that a little bit, but one thing that I'm relying on more is the looper in the Zoom G3 right here. I've been using that a lot to kind of figure out bass lines that I want to record, because up to this point I've just been playing by myself, and so I need to kind of figure out some different parts. I've also got the synth station, of course, that I talked about in my first video, and I've also been using that because with GarageBand, which has kind of a sequencing kind of approach, working with building a song out of various snippets, That's also really fun to mess with. So I'm just going to show you like kind of what I do to build a song, working out on fleshing out on ideas. So I actually sometimes I'll just mess around just on the synth station, and sometimes I'll mess around just on the looper, and sometimes I'll do both. So I'm going to try and show a little bit of both techniques. First, I'm going to just work with the looper a little bit. So I'm going to start making a loop, and I'm going to turn on the drum machine on the Zoom G3 to give me a beat, and then I'm going to record a guitar track. Okay, so now that I've got my guitar track, I'm going to record a bass line. So one thing that I've been doing is I've been using the Akai synth station to play bass lines in GarageBand. But the other thing that I've also been doing is I've come up with a pretty decent patch on the G3 to simulate the bass. So I'm going to use that right now. See, this is a really good way for me to mess around and figure out various parts, and it just works really well, I think, to figure out different ways to approach the same song, because I can try different things really quickly without fussing around with the recorder. Okay, so now this time I'm going to implement the Akai synth station in conjunction with the looper to try some different stuff. So this time, instead of using the drum machine and the G3, I'm going to use the smart drums in GarageBand. And what I'm going to do, so this song has got kind of a shuffle to it. It's in 6/8 time. Let's see. Why don't we change the actual drum sound to a real drum set? So we'll put on the classic studio kit. Okay, so I like the sound of that. We're going to make it a little louder. Okay, so I'll just record the drums in here. Then I can just stop this one. And then I'm going to go to another instrument. I'm going to open up the keyboard. I'm going to switch to an organ. Let me just put it on the settings that I prefer. Let me get out the bass. That wasn't the smoothest loop right there, but can't win them all. See, that was terrible. The nice thing about the G3 is I can hold this and undo. At this point, I'll probably just unplug the synth station. Man, I made this loop really fast. It's crazy. So that wasn't the best sounding example, but in short, that kind of just shows you some ways that I'm approaching fleshing out different ideas. And hopefully that kind of helps you, even if you don't have these same tools, maybe you can figure out some creative ways of your own that would help you flesh out ideas before actually recording them.